Hello Bambinos, I've got a brand new draft league to hit you with, and this is my draft analysis for the UNPL Academy. Don't ask me what UNPL stands for, literally don't know. But I've got a team to show you, and I like to make these things quick, so let's just get straight into it. So round one of the draft, we took Annihilate. We were, I think, 5th in the draft of 12, and there were some much better mons on the board, I won't lie, but I really want to try Annihilate. It's quite unbelievable that we're this far into the generation and I haven't used Annihilate in singles yet. I've used it in VGC drafts but not singles, so I really wanted to take it like no matter what, and I thought I had a plan about going like sort of high mid table early and then leave myself somewhat big later, which I did end up doing. So I went lower first. People were picking up their Palafins, their Dragapults, their Iron Valiants, not me. I took Annihilate, still a high point mon, but I really want to try it. It's just a very cool mon. I mean, look at its fucking stats. Like, this thing has bulk and attack and that stupid Rage Fist move, which I want to try. But yeah, it's also a very good hazard control sort of guy, because no one wants to defog on you because they're going to proc your Defiant ability and no one can spin on you, so it can actually be really good at controlling hazard removal. So I like that about it. Plus it is strong, like 115 attack is strong, can't be just taking close combats like that for nothing. But everyone knows what it does. I won't bore you with the details, but you all know what it does. Rage Fist be Rage Fisting. So that's our round one pick of the draft, and we move on. Alright then lads, so round two, we picked up Heatran, aka the God. I'm not gonna fucking lie to you, we all know what this does. It's been doing it since Gen 4, it's got the phenomenal Fire Steel type in, it's gonna be great support for Annihilate because it switches in on Flying type moves, Psychic type moves, Fairy type moves, and with that incredible bulk of it up there with the 106 in both defenses and a very high HP stat, it's just going to be a very good defensive piece on my team, as well as hitting like a fucking truck with that 130 special attack. The only thing drawing it back is that X4 ground weakness, but I'm going to fix that because when you draft Heatran, you got to draft a couple of ground immunities, and we certainly will go on to do that. But that's going to be our round two pick. Heatran is a beast, don't forget it. Alright then guys, so round three, I picked up Latios. I absolutely love this mon. I've drafted it many times before. I've even won a championship with this mon this generation already. So it's one of my trusty pieces. It's going to be one of the faster pieces on this team. So it's going to be coming a lot to put pressure on those speed tiers. It's our first ground immunity to help out Heatran. Very important on a team like this. It's another Psychic resist for Annihilate. Another Fairy weakness, sure, but Heatran eats up those fairies for life. So not only is this thing holding a speed tier, it's got a phenomenal special attack, and with that big buff to its signature move Luster Purge, it absolutely blows things away. If you get that drop, the next turn, even resist didn't want to take that hit, so you like resist aren't a resist if you get that drop. So it's very powerful. It can pivot now with that flip turn, so choice items are very good on it, and with that Solju, its dragon and psychic moves are going to be blowing things back. It's a big nuke on my team, and that's going to be our round three pick. Alright, first of all, let me address that this isn't a gif of wheezing. I could not find a good one on the internet, and I haven't got fucking time to fuck around with it, so we're having this dirty ass image of wheezing here. This is our round 4 pick. It's Wheezing Galar. I really want to use this mon. I've used it before, but I wanted it for my Fairy Dragon Steel core. Really works well with Heatran and Latios because they support each other pretty well. Having that Fairy gives us Dragon immunities for Latios and also another Levitator for Heatran. It's a really good triangle, very good defogger, as well as setting up T-Spikes, Wisping things, Toxicking things, and getting those hits off of Sludge Bomb and Strange Steam. Going to be one of our Fizz Def pieces, really, I guess, with that big 120 defense. Just a very annoying mon sometimes, you know. It's quite hard to get rid of unless you've got a big special attacker. But then what you're throwing at it, Heatran eats up for dinner. So this is going to be our Poison and Fairy type for the draft. Very good mon. Ignore the shitty image. I apologize. Next one. Alright guys, so round 5 of the draft, we picked up Big Zaddy Zarude. That's right, we've gone double fucking monkey with Annihilate Zarude. I think Zarude is like Wish Meowscarada. Now that it's got knockoff, that's a big buff. Like, it's got knockoff, it's got U-turn, it's got a strong grass move with Power Whip or Flower Trick. Yeah, Flower Trick's better. Yeah, Meowscarada's faster. I'm probably a bit stronger. I can't quite remember Meow stats. But this is still like one of the mythical joints. It's got good fucking stats, you know, 105 HP, 120 attack, 105 defense, 95 speed F, 105 speed. That's really good going. It's a very bulky mon. Obviously, it's got that like dice to U-turn typing, but we can work around that. We've got like a fire steel type that can switch in on U-turn and burn that bitch. So I like what Zarude brings to this team. Being able to knock items, and it's got like a good speed pressure, very strong, like very good mon to have here. Pivot pieces are good here because I feel like wanting to like get in like a spec Citran or something like that, or a spec Light, just being able to pivot my pieces to get in the big hitters is going to be very important here, because like Annihilate isn't that type of tier 1 mon, you know what I'm saying? It's not like just coming in and blowing something away. It needs a bit of time to set up, it needs to position, and that's why removing items and pivoting around is going to be really important for Annihilate. So Zarude is going to be playing a very important role in this team, and I'm quite excited to use it. I've not used it since like when it first came out back in the last gen, but now, yeah, it's got knockoff. I can't remember if it always had CC or not. It's got CC now. It might have always had it. I don't fucking know. Like I said, I've only used it once. So that's Zarude. That's round 5. On to the next one. Okay then, so for our round 6 pick, we picked up the best evolution. You can fucking fight me on that, Vaporeon. This is going to be a great support mon on this team, being able to soak up those water hits for Heatran and some other mons. Also, Wish support, being able to heal up my guys is very important. Being able to pivot around with Flipster and their Baton Pass. It's also like not a bad hitter, 110, not bad, not bad. You can be taking some Scold. It's got Scold back since the new the DLC 2. I haven't used Vape since the DLC 2. I did once 6-0 man with like Calm Mind, Acid Armor, Stored Power. That was fucking sick. I might try that again, but who knows. Yeah, big defensive piece, big 130 HP stat. You can make it Fizz Def if you just like go fucking 252 bold and max HP. It will be a good Fizz Def mon. It's an even better Spit F mon with that 95 Spit F, and it can heal itself up, it can heal the buddies up, it can pivot, it can burn you with a Scold. Good mon, good mon. Next one. Alright guys, so round 7, we pick up our first Terra Captain of this team. Terra Captains are 6 points and under in this league, so it's very low tier Terra Captains. Bellybot's my first one. This guy's stats, like, are so good for a low tier mon, and with the ability to Terra, like, to be able to take away, it's only got one weakness anyway, being an electric type, but being able to, like, wisp that away, so good from one of the stats, and the ability to be able to get extra damage on your electric moves with the Electromorphosis ability. I also just love static on this thing. It's so thick that it can come in on attacks. Anything that wants to pivot, just fucking try it with Bellybolt, because, you know, you could static them, and then you can just heal it off with Slack Off. This thing's so good. It gets toxic as well, which is really nice, because this team is going to be quite fat by the end of it, and you'll see that it's going to be about chipping things down to put them in range for my things like Ape, Latios, Zarude. And Bellybolt is going to be very, very good at that. It's just, I've used it before quite recently, and it's just really hard to kill. Like, with Slack Off and, like, such a thick amount of bulk. So thick. It's going to be good. The Terra types we've gone for here are Grass, Flying, and Fairy. The Grass and Flying are to really kind of whiff ground moves coming at you. Flying obviously makes you completely immune. Grass, you resist, and then you can hit them back with a Terra Blast sort of scenario is what I'm thinking here. So that's going to be why I've gone with that. And Fairy is just like a god type in. Like, my Fairy type being Wheezing, it's not awfully offensive. Bellybolt's got that big 103 special attack, so I can hit a pretty decent Terra Blast off of this. So that was the thinking here. But I'm really excited to use Terra Captain Bellybolt, because I just love this mon. Fucking look at it. It's so squishy and so huggable that you want to just squeeze it. So that's Bellybolt. That's our first Terra Captain. On to the next one. Alright, so this is where shit gets a little bit crazy, because this is round what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Round 8 of the draft. We're allowed to draft 9 to 11 mons, so that means you could go top heavy and draft 9, or you can like spread your points out and get 11. I had a lot of points left here at round 9, and I'm looking at what I needed for the team left, and I just thought, fuck it, I need a big solid ground type. A lot of the ground types were gone. There were no like sort of like mid to high tier ground types. All of the good ground types were gone, and then I didn't want to pick up like Palisand or some shit, you know. So this is where spunked the last of my points, not the fully last of my points. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is round 8, not round 9 even. Round 8 pick is Ursaluna Blood Moon. I'll just get to the fucking point. I needed a good ground type. I didn't fancy anything left that was like under 14 points, so I was like, no, I'm picking up the big Blood Moon. round 8 of the draft. Fucking crazy that this was still on the board, I think, because it's a beast. Like, yes, it's slow, doesn't matter. It tanks hits and it can hit like a truck. Got the Blood Moon move that just hits so hard, and it can hit ghosts, so there's no real, like, there's no immunity to it. It only resists steel types, but steel types also don't like eating earth power, so there are only so many mons that can actually safely switch on this thing. So that's a big special attacker, a big nuke on our team. Like I said, slow, fat, that's what this team is going to be about, being slow and fat, just soaking up hits, chipping the damage down, and getting the finishers in to finish them off. But this guy can be a finisher. This guy can be a fucking finisher with some calm mind set up and just raw power. So just look at those stats: 113 HP, 120 defense, 135 special attack. Such a beast. Not used it yet. This is the first time I'm using it, so I'm quite excited. But personally, the Blood Moon is our round 8 pick of the draft. You'll love to see it. Alright guys, so our final pick of the draft, and also our second Terra Captain on this draft, is going to be Dodrio. Dodrio might seem surprising to you. It's not like known for being a good mon, but I think it's not bad, especially for the points it was on. It was on for like, I think it was 4 points, and that's all I had left at this point. I wasn't going to be able to squeeze in 2 picks out of that I thought were worthy. So I've just gone for the 9 mon draft. Dodrio's got that speed tier that really helps this team out, because a lot of my guys are slow, so I do think it's actually going to be important on this team. And, you know, 110 attack isn't bad. You know, my first pick on Annihilate only had 115 attack, so 110 can't be sniffed at. And it has quite decent coverage, but my Terra types are certainly going to help out with that coverage. I've got the Fairy, just because it's the God typing, you know how it is, and it hits things that it can't otherwise hit. Again, with the Wheezing, like, it's not the most offensive mon, so it's good to have some offensive Fairy coverage. That's sort of the same reasoning for Electric. Not only will this whiff Electric moves coming at me, Belly Bolt is quite slow for my Electric type, so being able to have a fast Electric type to pressure, if there's like a certain mon on a draft that's going to really pressure me and I need a fast Electric type to scare it out, that'll be when I bring Terra Electric Dojo, I think. Fire, again, for the same sort of reasons, Heatran's not that fast, but I don't want this thing getting burnt. I don't want to be hitting no flame bodies, so that is why I've gone with Fire. It's just another bit of fire coverage, because outside of Heatran, my fire coverage is pretty lame. I think Latios lost Mystical Fire, so it's just Wheezing, so I just wanted some other fire coverage on the team, and that's why I've gone with Terra Fire Dodrio. But yeah, certainly not everyone's going to think Dodrio is a good pick. I'll let you know at the end of the season, I guess. But it's also it's another flying type that helps out Heatran, as well. It's my only flying type, but it's a ground immunity to go with my 2 levitators. So that will be my last pick of the draft. Let me know what you think of the team in the comments, and please stick around to catch my UNPL season. I'm going to be trying to work a little bit more on my content for this season, I think. I usually just click record and say fuck it, let's go. But I'm going to be doing a little bit of things like this at the beginning with my team. Like, this is my team for this week, this is what I'm planning. So I'm going to try. I don't know if I'll stick at it. I've got a lot going on. I'm in like 2 other upload required leagues, so it is what it is. But I'm going to make an attempt, and if it pulls off, then I'll maybe do it for every league going forward. But I'm just going to try some shit, you know? So leave a like, leave a comment, come support the Ice Goose this season, and I'll see you guys week 1.